Hello my friends, you got Mark coming to you this evening on the Garage Guy 879 channel. It is July 7th, 2018, and what we're looking at is a new pistol ordered from Buds. Sccy CPX-2, black frame, black slide, chambered 9mm. I gave $205 for it. The title of this video, Sccy CPX-2, the usual problems. Now about, I guess it was the end of last year, the last week of December, I had bought a brand new Sccy from Buds. It had the orange frame and black slide. I have the video about it uploaded here on YouTube. It's called Sccy CPX-2, the Little Warrior. And that gun ran flawlessly. Well, a few weeks later, a buddy of mine from work, I let him shoot it. He offered me some good profit for it, and I went ahead and took it. And I was thinking, hey, since this gun isn't going to be in my carry rotation or anything like that, you know, it's not a priority. So I sold it to him, got the profit, and later down the road, figured I'd get another one. So here it is 7 months down the road, and I have another one. Unfortunately, this one didn't run as flawlessly as the first one did. So what do you say we go down here at my little shooting area, and my buddy Joe came over and we put the first rounds through this Sccy CPX-2. And you will see the usual problems a lot of other people have had with this model firearm. Catch you in a minute.
I feel privileged I get the first shots.
There you go. Alright. First shot, Sccy CPX-2, going for the middle target. Hang up. There we go. You reckon that was the magazine problem there?
Come up against the shell, just didn't push it out.
Well,
That went smooth.
daggone. Every one.
That's it. Every one out of that clip.
Well, looks like we're going to have to do a little experimenting with it.
Hey, which one? Same target?
Try crackhead over there.
Crackhead?
Yeah. See if we have any better luck with these magazines here. See, he just racked it by hand. Turn it a little bit there. Yeah. Huh.
Right there, you can see where that's where it stops, right there.
Looks like that might be going back to the factory. They got a real good warranty.
That should have went on in because it's all the way up in the chamber.
Yeah.
It's stopping before it gets up to the end of it. Crackhead. Same place.
Same
place.
Well, at least it stayed open after
Last
the last.
four.
Yeah, stayed open after the last round. That's something.
Half of those hung up. 5 shot, 4 didn't. That magazine is staying, not pushing it out.
Magazine spring's bad, but hell, both of them.
I didn't like the way that sounded. That jerked. I heard something sound like it broke.
Okay, don't fire it. Go ahead and clear it.
It sounded like you could hear the spring in it.
Yeah, go ahead and clear it. Guess we'll have to take her apart here and see if there's a problem.
I don't. Ouch.
That's good ammo. It's Winchester white box.
I know, we don't never have no problem out of it.
No.
I am just about to say that clip needs to be spread out just a little bit. Because once you touch it, it goes all the way in.
You know, a lot of those high point magazines, a lot of people have to spread one
Like
side of the lips.
The top of it lip needs spread out on it just higher.
Yeah. So we might as well say that's a good magazine. I'll mark it up or something.
Look at it.
Yeah.
It needs to be spread out just a little bit.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. Let's try this out, see what it does. Oh.
Nope.
All right.
One jam out of that one.
Well, it is kind of loose in there.
Yeah, but you only got one jam out of that first mag.
Let's do a mag dump. Seemed to work. Maybe it just needs to be broke in.
Needs
real
to,
good.
may just be tight.
Yeah. Oh well. I'll get about 100 more rounds down the pipe and see what happens. All right, gonna try rapid fire both magazines here. Not bad, seems to be coming around. See that? Already. Boy, they jerked them shells out pretty good though. Yeah. Just gonna have to work with it, I guess.
Well, we're back up here at the garage on the bench under the bright light. And you people saw what was going on with this pistol. And I'm just going to tell you, when something like that happens when you're firing a firearm for the first time, brand new, that really takes some wind out of your sails. But, you know, I'm really not worried about it all that much. Alright, now before I start here, I want to show you that I do have the rubberized traction grips here I order off eBay. Now there's a lot of pistol models that Talon does not make their grips for, but these right here, they're the same as Talon's, they just go on a little different, and they're about $6 cheaper. The grips on these Scys are so slick without these. You know, I gotta admit, this here is pretty much a must-have item. One of the common problems that people who own Sccy pistols have is the magazines. Now, earlier we'd noticed when Joe and I were shooting that some of the rounds were nosediving. But when I did the rapid fire, there wasn't no problem with that. And I got to thinking, you know, a lot of people who own high points will have some problems, and it's not the pistol itself, it's the magazine. Now, what a lot of those high point owners will do is they'll take a pair of pliers or whatever, and you see the feed lips right here, they'll take the pliers and just barely pull one to the outside. That takes care of the problem. But I'm looking at these feed lips right here on these Sccy magazines, and I don't see any abnormalities or anything like that, so I'm going to leave them alone. Besides, like I said, when I did the rapid fire, it wasn't no problem with it. So I don't think the magazines were a problem. Also, frame pins, trying to walk ourselves loose. Now we're talking right here and right here. Now these did come out maybe about a third of the way. They were sticking out a little bit, each one was. So I took a cut the end off of a model car paintbrush handle right there and tapped them back into place. Then I took some of this blue Loctite and put a dab here and here, and then over on the other side there and there. I don't think I'd avoid the warranty or anything like that, but that's how I fixed that problem. I know usually Sccy will send people some bigger size frame pins, but I don't think that's necessary in this case. But can't never tell. If it happens again, then I'll call Sccy and ask him for their advice, and I'll go from there. Also, the slide not going back in the battery, I think that's just a break-in issue. That's all that is. Joe and I were just giving it that. Went right back in, and it fired. No problem. So, bad ammo, think a guide rod spring. The whole gun itself is pretty tight. It's brand new. I had a Sccy Elite. Took me over 1,200 rounds to get that thing going properly. It was really pathetic. Spent shell casing ejection problems. 1,200 rounds. I'm not going to go that far with this gun right here. But the Sccy I had at the end of last year, when I got it out of the box brand new, I could go like that, and it wasn't near as tight feeling or as hard to pull back as this one is. You know, it's just a tighter gun right here. It's brand new. I think this is just a break-in issue. So I'm going to, I guess, have to give it some rough love here over the next week or so. What do you say we go ahead and wrap this up? All the problems with it. I showed you the up-close part of the video and all that. Magazines, frame pins, slide not going back in the battery. Guess what I'm going to do with this? I mentioned rough love. Well, I did the same thing with the Sccy Elite, and I'm going to do it with this right here. What I did, as far as the break-in issue, the gun being tight, 25, 30 times. When I lay it down after that, lock the slide back, might come back in an hour, maybe two, pick it up again, give it the same old thing, rack and back, rack and back. Leave the slide lock back, lay it down, maybe come back an hour or two later, pick it up, and so on and so on. It just seemed to work with that Canic Elite. And even though the problem was spent shell ejection, and I did have to use hot rounds with that, I don't think I'll have to use hot rounds with this. And to be honest with you, I don't want to use hot rounds with this. This is a pistol that is not a priority, okay? I have other pistols for other purposes. I got all those bases covered. Ordered this for something different to target shoot with. I really like this little gun. You could say it is a backpack gun or whatever, maybe a garage gun up here, something like that, but you know, I'm going to keep working with it. Just keep giving it that. And as far as magazines go, I said I don't believe there's any problems with them, but I'm going to keep 10 rounds put in them this week. And at the end of this coming week, I will make a part 2 or follow-up to this video, and I'll put 100 rounds on camera through this gun. Maybe I can get Joe to come over. He can put them through while I operate the camera. You know, either way is good, but yeah, I think it's just a break-in issue. I believe this gun is just tight. I really like these little Scys. I mean, they got some decent sights on them. Got a nice little line of sight for what it is. You know, it might be a little stubby or what have you, but you know, with these traction grips on here, it feels really good. And it's about Glock 26 size. For the price, if you get one that works well, then you got something really good. It's kind of like a Taurus. It's hit or miss. But this here, I'm going to have faith in it. I'm not going to give up on it, okay? You got to be patient when these kinds of things happen. All right. Well, look, this is Mark, Garage Guy 879. I'm going to run down here at the house. I'm thinking grilled cheese and tomato soup, and then catch a old horror flick, something from the 50s. Just kick back and relax. But anyhow, Sccy CPX-2, the usual problems. I'll be making an update video later this week. I hope you all will check that out. Until then, when you go shooting, please be safe.